There's what I call good nationalization and bad nationalization. What you do is the federal government comes in, it clears out the management, it tells the existing stockholders you're gone, it takes the bad assets and takes them off the bank's books, and then recapitalizes the bank with private dollars and a new private group and management running.
I did not run for office to be helping out a bunch of fat cat bankers on Wall Street.
But he is making billionaire George Soros richer. Soros spent tens of millions of dollars through front groups and shell organizations to get Obama elected president and other progressive Democrats elected to Congress. Not long after Obama took office, Soros was allowed to buy the troubled IndyMac Bank after it was taken over by the government under terms very favorable to Soros. And then IndyMac was awarded over $2 billion of American taxpayer money through the Troubled Assets Relief Program, doled out by the Obama bureaucracy.
What you need to do in the short term is almost the exact opposite of what you have to do in the long term. So as the credit is collapsing, they actually have to replace it by using the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
President Obama's words and actions seem clear. He does not view America with an America-centric perspective, but instead from an outsider's point of view, often with hostility.
First time in my adult lifetime, I'm really proud of my country.
Tonight I speak to you not as a candidate for president, but as a citizen and a fellow citizen of the world.
I believe in American exceptionalism, just as I suspect that the Brits believe in British exceptionalism and the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism.
Assalamu alaikum.
One of the points I want to make is that if you actually took the number of Muslims, Americans, we'd be one of the largest Muslim countries in the world.
Let there be no doubt, Islam is a part of America.
Instead of standing up for America, he bowed to the king of Saudi Arabia. When radical Muslim Major Hassan massacred 13 and wounded 33 at Fort Hood Army Post, Obama issued this warning to American citizens.
And I would caution against jumping to conclusions until we have all the facts.
The goodwill Obama and other Democrats always shower upon those hostile towards America never seems to extend to fellow countrymen here at home. When the state of Arizona passed a law protecting their southern border with Mexico, by essentially enforcing federal law that had long been abandoned to neglect, Attorney General Eric Holder was swift with condemnatory rhetoric, as well as a federal lawsuit against the state. And Democrats were vociferous in their personal attacks against Arizonans, even though so many had actually failed to read the law and knew none of its details.
Have you read the Arizona law?
I have not had a chance to. I've glanced at it. I have not read it.
I might ask if you had a chance to review the new law that was passed by the state of Arizona?
I have not reviewed it in detail. I certainly know of it, Senator.
And when Mexico's president, Felipe Calderón, attacked America on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives, he received a standing ovation from the congressional Democrats. Obama led a charge of fellow Democrats in attacking the Supreme Court's decision affirming the right of free speech in political elections. Obama has repeatedly attacked a group of private citizens simply because they wanted their voices heard.
Right now, all around this country, there are groups with harmless sounding names like Americans for Prosperity, who are running millions of dollars of ads against Democratic candidates.
Many see Obama's attacks on these Americans as indefensible, considering his own reliance on such constitutionally protected free speech. During his presidential election, he wound up with a record-shattering $750 million in his campaign. To this day, he refuses to report from whence it came. One reason might be that some of it originated from the terrorist group Hamas, which also endorsed Obama for president.
I do believe that Obama's chances more than Mr. McCain. And that's why we count on this change in the American foreign policy to be more fair and impartial.
While routinely mocking Americans who have suspicions that he doesn't share their view of America, Obama has appointed a cadre of unaccountable public officials with unusual authority, many of them purveyors of extraordinarily extremist views.
Give them the wealth! Give them the wealth!
Van Jones, self-avowed and unabashed communist, was appointed to the position of Green Job Czar. He held that position until his controversial views led to his resignation. Jones believed the September 11th terrorist attacks were staged by the U.S. government. Other appointees include Carl Browner as Energy Czar, who was a commissioner for the Socialist Internationale, an anti-American conglomerate of socialist and labor parties around the world.
We kind of agree with Mao that political power comes largely from the barrel of a gun.
Ron Bloom was formerly an attorney for big labor, until Obama made him auto and manufacturing czar. Anita Dunn was the White House communications director for President Obama, who also had a strange affinity for the communist dictator Chairman Mao.
And then the third lesson and tip actually come from two of my favorite political philosophers, Mao Zedong and Mother Teresa.
Obama's science czar, John Holdren, has publicly advocated that trees be allowed to sue in court, that we should engage in drastic population control by implementing forced abortions and sterilization, and that we should design a global regime to redistribute wealth. Regulatory czar Cass Sunstein says the government has the right to nudge its citizens away from behavior that it considers unacceptable, such things as hunting and meat eating.
The National Republican Trust PAC is responsible for this message.